3, 2, 1. Welcome to the Back Chat with the Back Doctor. This is your host, Dr. Oz. And with me, I have someone amazing, a great legend. This is Joseph.
Hi guys.
Joseph is the owner and co-owner with his brother Anthony of Off the Rails Nutrition and Recharge Nutrition as well. And these two brothers are on a mission to, I better not put words in my mouth. Let me hand you over to Joseph.
Awesome, thank you, Dr. Oz. Yes, so, and it's such an honor to be here as well, to be talking and sharing our mission. And our mission is to help 10,000 people over the next 10 years and to change the nutritional habits of people and to help with lifestyles as well. So I'll touch briefly on a couple of stories and impacts that we've made a bit later on, but at the minute, all we're doing is serving healthy smoothies, loaded energy teas to the community that generally wouldn't know what better choices to make for nutrition and to help better their lives as well.
Massive. And before we actually go into how you do all of that with what you make, what you sell, how you actually provide it to the community, how did you guys actually start?
Yes. So there's a couple of stories that I tell. I have a long one, and then I got a short one. But brief one is roughly 5 years ago, I moved up to Queensland, and at that time I was actually 18, turning 19. And so, as a 19-year-old, I moved up to Queensland and was going to study osteopathy, funnily enough. And I was a remedial massage therapist at the time, was looking for work. I was waiting for my transfer for Woolies to go up. And got rejected for Centrelink 3 times. So, I kind of felt like I wasn't supported. I basically blew through all of my savings, studied uni for, I think, two sessions of uni. I actually ended up deferring it and stopping it because I needed to work. So I just kept working. And at that time, I ended up putting on a lot of weight. I was eating out a lot. I was playing lots of video games, very sedentary. And it was just interesting to me that, I'm studying health, but I'm not practicing it. And it was a very interesting paradox there. And then one night at the Gold Coast night markets, I stumbled upon this tent and I saw free samples and I was like, yes, who doesn't love free samples? Yeah. So I went there, had some protein balls, had some aloe water, had some tea, fat burning energy tea. And the lady that was doing it, who's now my coach and mentor, and I'll be forever grateful for her, was explaining that, if you want to lose some weight, I've got some more samples, meet me Tuesday. So we met up at Tuesday. I was with my ex-partner at the time. And she listened to our situation and our story, and we're just two students trying to find work. And she said, you can turn this into a business opportunity. So we became health and wellness coaches, and we could really see the impact that we could make helping people as 19, 20-year-olds at the time. From there, it's just blossomed to these opportunities that with what we have now, and who else are you going to do business with than people you trust the most, which is your family. So it's been amazing to have my brother Anthony on board as well.
Wow, and your eyes really lit up when you mentioned your coach. May I ask what her name is?
Her name's Natalie. She's actually a veterinarian surgeon, so she's also a doctor, and she's also like a qualified chef. And without her guidance in particular areas, I wouldn't be where I am today. I feel like a lot of people need a mentor, but they also need to be receptive to actually take criticism, to take challenges on board, because there was this great quote, and it was, family and friends love you for who you are, but mentors love you enough to not keep you where you are.
100%. I've got a mentor myself, I've got a coach myself as well, and you just need that one person that's always checking your blind spots, keeping you accountable, and then at the same time telling you what you need to do to improve yourself, right? Always constantly challenging you, because life is all about challenge. If you ever get to a point where you're quite complacent, that's when things start to go downhill. Yeah. Because in my personal belief wise, there's no stationary. You're either going up in life or you're going down. There's no, everything's going to stay the same. Life isn't designed to be that way, right? So,
and both of those can either be, going as quick as you want, or they can be going slow. But you can also succeed slow, but you can also go backwards slow as well, but you may not necessarily realize it.
Yeah, that's the big thing about like self-limiting beliefs, right? Thinking you know everything, I've done it before, etc. Nah, life is always changing. So.
Yeah, and I used to be like that. I used to think I know everything, but it took me a little bit to actually, accept that, I need to destroy my ego and put it aside and actually be receptive to take on board coaching, mentoring, and guidance as well.
And that's one of the reasons I love you guys, right? Because you guys freaking, like you said, on a mission to help 10,000 people. Forgive me for not remembering the whole quote word by word, but the fact that you have that even memorized just shows you the level of focus and the level of attention that you have into everything that you're doing. You know, like our mission here is to educate and adjust as many families as possible towards optimal health through natural chiropractic care.
Yeah.
And that's what drives us every single day here as well. So the fact that we're on the same mission of just wanting to help as many people is why we get along so well.
100%.
So let's go into a bit more about you guys. Let's go into a bit more about what sort of things that you make, because I know you guys do very custom made, not just like, what's the word?
We're not your regular, protein smoothie or whatever, So for those of you who don't know, we do gourmet protein smoothies. Gourmet sounds nice. And loaded energy tea. So what that means is with our gourmet protein smoothies is it's got all your vitamins and minerals. So when people say it's just another protein smoothie, I say it's just another protein smoothie, not like this, not like anything you've ever had before. You know what I mean? One of the best qualities in the world. You're getting all your vitamins and minerals. You've got it all made on water, so no milk. So you don't have to worry about the lactose being an issue, or calorie wise as well, especially if you're trying to hit certain goals for your health. And we've got packed with protein, low calorie and low carb. And a lot of people that are trying to lose weight, you need to be in a calorie deficit to actually lose weight and lose fat. But we try to educate people and to say, don't just have a protein smoothie because it's got protein in it. Have it because it's a nutrition smoothie. It's got all your vitamins and minerals. You get energized from our smoothies because it's based off cellular nutrition. Now, with cellular nutrition, you have these things in your you have these things in your intestine called microvilli, kind of like these, right? Over time they become energetically impaired. So, through pollution, through drugs, alcohol, stress, which we're going to touch on later, they become energetically impaired. So they kind of fall down like this. Now you can try and eat well, but because because the surface area of them has decreased, you're not going to absorb everything. So if you're trying to eat better, it's like putting an E10 in a Ferrari. It's just not going to work. Like, it may go a little bit, but it's not going to actually do it. So what our products do, and what we try to educate people, and why they feel so good, people don't understand why they feel so good when they have a tea and a smoothie, is our products actually go feed into the cells, and they become up, and they become energetically repaired as well. So as soon as you start eating better, you're going to start feeling a lot better as well.
So you're also promoting, like really nice rebuilding of the intestines, rebuilding of the body itself, by giving it the right nutrition.
Yeah, we really focus on gut health. That's why we have a great probiotic as well. And our aloe vera is fantastic. When it's being made, it's actually cold pressed, and it's filtered through charcoal, not alcohol. So when something's filtered through alcohol, there's lots more chemicals and all the rest of it. But through charcoal, all the purities stay with it, and just all the bad stuff gets removed as well, which is fantastic. Awesome. Yeah. And then with our teas, they're 20 calories, they're sugar-free, they've got vitamins B and C, and we've got that aloe vera concentrate as well. So great for people on the go. We call it a pick-me-up. So if you need some energy, if you need to help with like stomach stuff, it's absolutely fantastic.
Awesome. Freaking awesome, man. Love it. And you've got two locations at the moment, is that right?
Correct.
One in Dapto and then one here just in Albion Park as well.
Yeah.
So nice and close to the community, because that's most of the people that we serve here as well. The big thing is you also recently started up a fitness class.
Fit Club, yeah.
Fit Club. What's up with that?
When I actually first got started in the business, I was actually running one up in Queensland. And, it is a very interesting market up there, because on the Gold Coast, everyone's fit, everyone's healthy. It's so much different to down here, in some people's lifestyles, it's just corporate, drive up to Sydney or drive to Wollongong, sit down all the time, and then there's no time for exercise. So we were like, okay, well, how do we promote people to move? Because our philosophy is 80% nutrition, 20% exercise, and 100% mindset, right? We care more about what you put into your body than you actually moving, because, for you to lose weight, for you to get energy, everything stems around food and fuel. Once you start thinking that food is fuel, then your whole mindset changes. And then exercise, then it becomes a thing of, your 20% of exercise is you want to move because you got so much energy. You know what I mean? So with that philosophy, we try to integrate that aspect of moving. And so the Fit Club is, your first session's free, right? come on down, come try it, because we don't want you to commit to something that you may not necessarily like, even though you will like it. But what we do is we have a combo, so you get a tea and a shake. That's compulsory for you to attend, because again, we care about more what you put in your body than the exercise that you do. And so, we have a couple of options for teas to start off with. We do our workout, and then you get a recovery shake after as well. So that's what we provide. And then, so your first one's free, and then every time after that is $15 as well. So you get a tea and a shake. That's pretty much, you're basically getting a 2-for-1 if you were to come into the shop, into one of our shops, and have some fun. And we've had so many people come into our community that have been, there was one lady and she actually hasn't been able to get out of the house for 2 years because of her circumstances. And it wasn't until actually being kind of like forced down to one of our shops that she actually started socializing. Now we can't keep her away, you know what I mean? So, and she actually feels more like a human being now than what she was before. So
beautiful.
Yeah, so you just never know.
And just even that just makes a massive impact for her. So that's great, because there's always more people wanting to be more energized, having their gut health looked at, and having such a good network is really important. So one of the reasons why I wanted to bring you on is so that people that do watch this can ask us, and then we can just send them straight over to you guys.
100%.
And that way they can focus on their health on the other aspects, right? Because you've got, like you said, what you're eating is your fuel at the end of the day. Do you want to be having... Here's a terrible metaphor for you, but it's like putting used E10 into the Ferrari.
Yeah.
I'm going to use diesel into a petrol.
Yeah, there you go. The wrong fuel. Yeah, exactly.
And things will start to break down over time. Now, let's talk a bit about Christmas time.
Yes.
So, Christmas is a big time for stress. It's a big time for happiness and love, connection, but it also comes with sides that we don't like to look at. One of them is stress. One of them is health. And another one is nutrition. Okay, so I wanted to get your thoughts and your feedback on some of this as well, because Christmas is all about getting family together and then having very, very unhealthy foods.
Or eating a lot, consuming a lot.
At one time. Because, I wanted to see what your thoughts around it all. Is there ways that they can look after their health while still doing that as well?
Yeah, for sure. So along with what we provide the community in our 2 locations of our shops, is we actually do take-home packs as well. And what we like to educate people on is have your breakfast shake. No matter what, have your brekkie shake. And what that does is, because it's certified low GI, you're not going to have this spike, you're not going to have a drop in your blood sugar levels, which means that you're not going to be craving that sugary sort of stuff. So I've had another lady as well, she never used to have breakfast, and she was a support worker, and she's a support worker in a school. And the only time that she would eat is when she remembered to eat, or in the staff room where there's muffins, chocolates, sugary stuff, just a constant feed of that. And so, you'd get that, and then she'd say she's always tired. It's like, because you've had a big spike of sugar in your bloods, and then you crash because it's all used up and gone. So, I always, and even recently on the weekend, I had my brother's wedding. For weddings, you go have festive stuff, have lots and lots of food. But I still made sure that I had my brekkie shake, even if it wasn't blended up. I still shook it up and drunk it, because I know that if I don't have it, I'm gonna not perform. I'm not gonna be my normal self without it. And then so when it comes to Christmas time, I always tell people, have your brekkie shake. Or at least have one a day. Because what that's going to do is you're still going to be in a bit of a calorie deficit, but you're getting all your nutrients in, whereas you may be consuming more alcohol. You may be having a lot more sugar. Instead of going for one dessert, you're going for 15, depending on what culture you live in. I know for us as Italians, we're getting a little bit of this, a little bit of that and everything, mix and match. And
Auntie's just giving you're like, I had enough, I can't eat anymore. But they're like, no.
No, there's always food. It's funny, you never see anyone shoving food down their face, But that's just our culture. So it's definitely a challenging time trying to fit that all in. I'm not saying everyone's perfect with it, but making sure you at least have a shake, plenty of water, keep it hydrated. The more fluid that you're having, you're also not going to feel as full. So you're not going to feel as hangry, let's say hangry, especially at this time as well.
And that's big, because the one thing that you didn't mention there is stop, right? You didn't say stop eating. Stop not having all the traditional cultural food, not enjoying yourselves. You didn't mention that, and that's the most important thing. It's a time of a holiday. It's a time for you to celebrate.
Yeah.
So you should eat the things that you do want to eat. But you're like, you can do that. but make sure you still look after yourself at the same time. Have your breakfast shake.
Yeah.
Make sure you're getting the right stuff so you can at least minimize how much this has an impact on you. It's still going to have an impact.
It also stops your cravings as well. You know, I used to drink lots of fizzy drink, lots of like iced teas. And I didn't realize how much sugar's actually in, the Lipton iced teas or the Fuse iced teas. And I used to be a huge bubble tea drinker. I used to go and get 2 at a time. And by the time I got to the car, my first one was done. I used to get a fruity one and a milky one. And it was, I didn't realize. I actually saw a video of myself the other day and my belly was like out here as like a 18, 19-year-old. And I was like, no, that's not good. We can't have we can't have that.
Definitely not. And that's big. The other aspect I want to talk about as well is, during this time, a lot of people don't realize, when I talked to you before we started as well, is just how many people unfortunately pass away. And one of the stories that I wanted to share was a person that I was speaking to had their grandmother pass away a couple of years ago during Christmas time, during Christmas Day, and it was on a specific chair. And then the next Christmas came along, and that same chair that the person sat on, there was another death in the family. This time it was an auntie.
Oh, wow.
So they have that chair there as they're saying, if you sit on this chair, you're going to pass away. And it's both during that Christmas time.
Yeah.
So one of the stats that shared, I don't want to misquote this, but basically the most amount of cardiac deaths peak on December 25th, followed by December 26th, and then the 1st of January. The biggest factors that they put down is just stress. That's all due to financial pressures, social obligations, and having to travel. They say that the stress can elevate the blood pressure. They increase the heart rate, which in fact increases the risk of having heart attacks. The second factor is the dietary changes. Right, so we just spoke about those dietary changes, increasing in rich in fats and sugars, alcohol consumption, right? And the fact that getting medical attention is a lot worse as well during that holiday season, because it's a lot more understaffed and a lot more quieter to get around at that time.
Yeah.
So can you add anything? Because I don't want to end this on a low, right?
No,
That's not my intention. Don't mean to be the death of gloom, raining down on everybody. I want to first of all bring it to the forefront, so it's not hidden away and people aren't aware of it. I want to bring it to the surface. So now I want to talk about what we can do, what you can do to reduce those risks. If not for yourself, but for your loved ones, for your families, and all the other people as well. So in terms of stress, what are some ways that you manage your own stress?
Definitely exercising and moving. We also do a walk fit as well. One of my team members organizes a walk fit, and we do that every Tuesday and Saturday. And there was one particular Saturday where I was like, no, Tuesday, I think it was. And I was like, I really didn't want to get out of bed. But I reminded myself, being a leader, it's not about it's about doing the things that you don't necessarily want to do. Successful people are successful because they do the things that they don't want to do. And that's where we sometimes get stopped in our tracks. But I went and did that walk, and I felt great afterwards. I was a bit moody, I was a bit, but I ended up feeling absolutely fantastic after, and I'm glad that I did. So if you guys are feeling stressed, my top tips would definitely be to just stay off your phone for a little bit. Just put it away, just stand outside, take your shoes off, take your socks off, put your feet in the ground, and then just breathe. Those are something I regularly do. Go for a walk, go for a 5K walk minimum. And then you'll feel good, you'll feel sore, but you'll be glad that you done it as well. Read a book. Don't read a fiction book. Read a non-fiction book. I'm currently reading Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, which is fantastic. And the 48 Laws of Power. Man, that's a fantastic book. I'm only on page 3, but so far it's been pretty great. I just read the interlude. No, but it's pretty good. I think the number one is just reach out to someone that you feel comfortable with. If you are feeling overwhelmed about something, the biggest thing is communication. And, I guess when you're communicating with someone, don't put your problems onto someone. Word it in a way to say, look, I'm feeling overwhelmed, X, Y, and Z. I just wanted to load this off. And when we change our mindset about, chatting to someone about a particular issue, if you change your mindset of, I don't want a solution, I just want to be heard. And I think that's where a lot of people get stuck is, they want to be heard as opposed to a solution. situations will definitely vary. But if I've come to you, Dr. Oz, and I've said, I've just been feeling a little bit down lately. My back's hurting a little bit. Look, I just, what can, I just want to feel heard in the sense of, you're here to listen. You know what I mean? Like my cat's just died or something like that.
Look, in these situations, Joseph, this is what I do. No. It's like, get back here, where you going? No, 100%. Sometimes it's just being heard, right? It's so much like, I'm going to tie it in. When you talked about mobile phones, right? That's a disconnect. You're losing connection with people, and it's becoming more superficial, more fast-paced, more quick. But we need, as human beings, is connection. We need empathy. We need to be able to hear each other. Body language, the tone of our voice, the way we speak, and just hearing someone out. Solutions usually come just by communication. One of the best ways to grow, especially with good friends that you really connect with and speak well with, is that you grow together. Because by sharing something that you might be going through, that person might have experienced the same thing.
Yeah.
They might be experiencing the same thing and they haven't spoken about it. And now that's an opportunity for you to both to work together to actually find a solution to a problem too.
Yeah.
Because it's not just like, oh, he's just a dump of all my issues, take that. No, it's more like, this is what's been going on with me. This is what I've been dealing with. I just want to share that with you so you know what's happening. It's a load off my chest, but at the same time, that opens up the room for conversation.
Yeah.
And that just like drastically reduces stress.
Exactly.
So I'm 100% with you there. I'm also 100% with you in terms of breathing, right? Getting out with nature. People don't breathe enough. They think they breathe, but they don't. There's a lot of poor postural breathing, right? Improving posture, everything. And reading books, 100%. I'll give just one other tip recommendation, which is called Grit. It's a book all about what really makes people go through the most hardest and most difficult things in their life, and they bounce back.
Actually, I think I did see that in the bookstore the other day.
Very powerful.
Yeah, I was going to get it, and I was like, oh, it's too gritty for me.
Too good.
And have a laugh, guys. When you change your
It's too good.
when you change your mindset about life isn't serious. Life isn't meant to be serious. It's meant to be taken advantage of because life is coming from you, not at you. And when you change your perspective on that, you are the creator of your own reality and your own lifestyle. Everything that is happening to you is because of you. And when you actually accept that, you will change dramatically. You will start thinking different, being different, eating better. Like everything will come and stem from that as well. So have some fun over the...
That's right. Have fun, take those risks. I'm going to quote Zig Ziglar, a very old speaker, but he said, it's all risky. The moment you're born, you're going to die.
Yeah.
So you might as well risk it all.
Yeah.
Make the most of your life, right? So yeah, that's really good. And then I think the last point was, we talked about stress. We talked what you can do in terms of nutrition, minimizing, improving your gut health, taking the right amount of breakfast shakes, teas, alcohol, right?
I had a bit of that on the weekend.
Yeah. So it's going to happen. If you don't drink, that's great. If you want to drink, you can go ahead. But I think the biggest thing people need is something to reduce the amount of impact that it has on them.
Yeah.
From my experience, I just go off all natural, right? I usually go straight through ginger. So I usually have ginger and I usually have a lot of yogurt.
Yeah.
That's usually like my unwinding. This is in the past, but it's a way for me to unwind any sort of hangovers or too much drinking, and just plenty of water.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you would add to that?
You guys got to come get a tea. You got to get a tea with aloe, with extra aloe and electrolytes, because basically what the aloe is going to do is it's actually going to cleanse all of that, or your microvilli, so they can start absorbing, and then when you have that electrolytes, it's going to replenish anything that you lose as well, because when you have alcohol, it processes it a lot through the liver and then through the kidneys. Yeah, it's processed, you're using more energy, your body's using more energy to break down those alcohol molecules and chemicals, then you need to replace all of that energy as well. Look, if you are going to drink, no worries, but what I want to put to you is why? if you actually want to make a change, you want to cut back on your drinking, or you actually just want to say no, be the Dezo. Yeah, that's what I always do. It's not that I don't like drink. So it's not that I don't like drinking. It's just I just don't want to. If it's an option, I will. So if I put myself into a situation where I'm Dezo, I feel great. I get to go sleep in my own bed. I get to wake up as early as I want, and I just feel great. So if you want to avoid that, be Dezo driver. If you're going to have a drink that stay on the same drink, so you know that your body can just process the same thing over and over again. Don't mix drinks.
Yes.
And I personally choose anything that's got low sugar, no sugar, and maybe have maybe 2 or 3 or something like that. So this is a time for peer pressure as well. You're like, oh, it's all right, but if you've had a bit too much and then you accidentally get behind the wheel, that's where it becomes a safety issue as well.
That's good. That's good advice.
Yeah. So just remember, it's. Why? Just put a why, or what if I do this? What will happen if?
Like for me, for example, I'm quite impulsive. So I just cut alcohol altogether. So I haven't really had anything to drink in the last 8 months. Only socially drinking, but I don't like the fact, alcohol is really against like the whole principle of health and how much you drink it. So I gave that up. So the reason why is I couldn't just cut back, because I love to drink.
Yeah.
Like I love whiskey. So I had to just say, I'm just going to go cold turkey. And being Dezo is actually pretty fun.
Yeah.
You get to see everyone else get rolled up. You just get to go home, sleep in your own bed. You wake up in the morning feeling refreshed.
And you're like,
Everyone else is like, man, I'm crazy. I'm dead. I'm done.
Or they don't wake up. Or they wake up at the same time that they normally would, because their body's just in that routine, and then they feel worse.
Yeah, because alcohol starts as a depressant. Then as it breaks down in your body, it becomes a stimulant. That's why a lot of people wake up at early in the morning, all of a sudden saying, oh, what the hell's going on?
Yeah.
Before they go back to bed. So
they're like,
All right. Is there any last words that you have for everyone listening today, Joseph?
Yes. A couple of things. One, if you're going through a tough time, something that my mum always tells me is, this too shall pass. And if you're going through a tough time, you say, how does it get any better than this? You may be going through a bad time, but if you at least ask yourself, is it going to get better? It has to get better. You know what I mean? Like, if you keep saying, how can it get any worse? Well, guess what? Life's just going to say, well, you're already here. We might as well just chuck some more. So stay with your brekkie shake. If you guys want any more information, follow our Instagram, Recharge Nutrition AU or Off the Rails Nutrition. Come in and see us if you want some more information. And then, if you guys want any more information about chiropractic or anything like that, come and see these guys. Absolutely fantastic.
Awesome.
No worries.
Having you on board, man.
Too easy.
Thank you.
And do we finish up with the cut, or we?
Let's do it. 1, 2, 3. Love it.
Beautiful.